Well, we've been learning about how to write equations of lines in slope-intercept form, and we're continuing on with that in this video, but this time we're going to learn how to write the equations when we're given 2 points from the line. So this is part 1. A couple things that you want to remind yourself of. Slope-intercept form is the equation of a straight line, and there are 4 variables in slope-intercept form: x and y, which represent a point on your line; M represents the slope of the line, and B represents the y-intercept. You also want to remember the slope formula, so you need to have this memorized or written down in your notes. This is how we find the slope of the line when we're given 2 points. And also the y-intercept. Something to remember with the y-intercept is that the coordinates for the y-intercept is always 0, comma, y. Actually, that should maybe be a B. 0, comma, the y-intercept. So notice if any one of these points were my y-intercept, notice they all have an x-coordinate of 0. So anytime I see an x-coordinate of 0, that means it's my y-intercept. So let's use all this information to help us write the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. So the 2 points are 0, -2, and 8, 14. Now there's 2 things I need to know to write the equation. I need to know the slope of the line, and I need to know the y-intercept of the line. Now luckily, one of the points that I'm given has a 0 in the x spot. That means that this line crosses the y-axis at 0, -2. So the y-intercept is given to me, luckily, as one of my points. All I need to do now is find the slope. So to find the slope, I need this equation. So let's copy this over. Okay, this is the equation that we use to calculate the slope. Now we need to label these points x1, y1, and x2, y2. So it doesn't matter which point we choose as number 1 or number 2, but let's just choose this one as number 1, so that means this x-coordinate would be x1, and this coordinate would be y1, and this one would be x2, because it's my second point, and y2. Now I just need to plug in these numbers to their correct place in the slope formula. So y2 minus y1, 14 minus -2. Then on the bottom, x2 minus x1, 8 minus 0. Okay, let's do this math. 14 minus a -2 is the same thing as adding a positive. So 14 plus 2 is 16, and 8 minus 0 is 8. But 16 divided by 8 is just 2. Therefore, the slope of this line is 2. Now I simply need to plug these into my slope-intercept form for a line. So y equals mx plus b, so m is 2x plus b, and b is a -2, so I'll do minus 2. This is the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points. Let's do another example. This time we want to write the equation of the line that passes through the points 2, 9 and 0, 13. So remember, we need to figure out what the slope of this line is and what the y-intercept is. Luckily, the y-intercept is given to us because I recognize that there's a 0 in the x-coordinate of this point, so that means this line crosses the y-axis at y equals 13. So that is my y-intercept of this line. Now I just need to figure out the slope. So use the slope formula. First thing you want to do is label your points with these variables. So let's choose this to be the first point, so this will be x1 and y1, and my second point will be x2 and y2. Now we plug in these variables into the equation. y2 minus y1, 13 minus 9. x2 minus x1, 0 minus 2. 13 minus 9 is 4. 0 minus 2 is -2. And 4 divided by -2 simplifies to be -2. So the slope of this line is -2. So in the equation y equals mx plus b, I replace the m with -2 and b with 13. And it looks something like that. This is the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points.